Hello everybody out there in YouTube land, this is Double J101 back again with another Transformer review, and finally we are here at the end of Power of the Primes. Wave 4 Novastar now in my possession, so let's go ahead and take a quick look at the packaging. We see that my package was demolished. I found this at a local Walmart and there was two of them. This one was surprisingly the better of the two. But boy, man, I was lucky that the figure didn't get damaged, but this thing, the box got screwed. It got totally screwed. But anyways, we see Novastar here on the front. Nice rendering of the vehicle mode here, as well as some great artwork of Novastar on the back. On the back here, we see Novastar in her robot mode, as well as her vehicle mode. And, of course, what she comes with, the gun and the prime armor, as well as the bio, if you would like to read that. Moving right along, let's go ahead and take a look at Novastar in all her glory. So we see it's the same type of mold that Moon Racer had. Nothing too different, besides some very nice red and orange throughout. This character is actually named Firestar. Pretty sure in the G1 universe, not really a toy. There was never a figure of really any of the fembots back in the day, but otherwise we have black and gray throughout the wheels, as well as some I would say pale. I really don't know what kind of color. Maybe a really dull yellow right there on the side. It's not really that bad. It isn't dull like in a bad yellow. It's just kind of the color that the yellow is. We also see some clear plastic here on the front as well, where the cockpit would be if you were to put a Prime Master kind of stored in there. Back here in the back, we see the arms of the robot kind of just sticking out like Moon Racer did. But really, that's about it for the paint detail. Along in the package with Novastar came her Prime Armor, which is, of course, matching in color just as it should be, which you can actually take onto the back and peg it on into the slot right here, which does actually cover up nicely that really big gap in the back, but it does make a even longer car. So it's really up to you if you want to do that. Me, it's actually kind of cool if I were to keep my robots in their vehicle mode. Also, she has a nice pistol, which is completely different than Moon Racer's. Moon Racer's pistol was actually this black one here. Actually had a longer barrel to it, and it's nice that they gave her something different. Cool little change there. Also in the packaging, we see the Novastar collector's card with the green Liege Maximo Novastar, as well as another bio if you want to take a look there. But that's about it for what comes inside of her packaging. So for comparison, let's go ahead and take a quick look here at Moon Racer. You can see the differences in the molding. Really not a terrible difference between them. Let's go ahead and take this off. Not really a big difference at all. A lot of this clear plastic here that is on Novastar does actually exist here in Moon Racer. They just put paint over it, really. So all this right here that you see that is paint, it's the exact same kind of plastic. So it is a little brittle. Just got to be, careful on that. But otherwise, there's no Autobot logo here or on top up here. But otherwise, they do have a lot of similarities. They both roll about as well as you can possibly roll with these little pegs on the bottom. So nothing too fantastic, but yes, that's about it for their comparison. On to transforming Novastar into robot mode. Let's go ahead and get started here. First, what we're going to do is take this piece right here in the middle, right where the cockpit would be, fold this up, get this out of the way. We are going to then rotate around as so. Once you do this, there is a motion up top that you can't do, so let's go ahead and get there real quick. Let's fold these out of the way and get the arms out of the way a little bit. As you can tell right here, you cannot move this down, and the reason why is this little panel right here that is supposed to open to reveal that, it cannot be opened if you have this turned. So you turn it right back around, bring this out, and fold the head up, get it back into place, then rotate it back around. You will then be set. You will actually be able to get the head out without damaging your figure, so make sure you watch that while you're doing this transformation. Next, hold on to where the cockpit would be and rotate the legs around again, which is a pretty cool little gimmick it has there. Down here at the bottom, Fold the feet out, disconnect the legs, bring the arms down, and straightened out. Something else to realize, and I'm not sure if this second if Moonracer has it or not, but these arm joints right here at the shoulder, they are clear plastic. So keep that in mind. So be careful with the arms. They will be brittle after a while, especially if you're not careful when you transform it. Back here, there are 2 peg slots for these peg holes right here. Bring this piece down, and you can peg it on in if you would like her to have kind of a bigger flap on her butt. Or you can bring it up and not put it in those pegs, leaving a little bit of a gap in the back, but makes it more flush when you bring those pieces back. So you can either have a bigger backpack or maybe give a little bit of a bigger butt to peg it into where it's supposed to peg into. But it's really up to you how you want to do it. Me, I'm just going to leave it like where it's supposed to go. And there you have Firestar, or shall I say Novastar, in her robot mode. So let's go ahead and take a closer look at Novastar in her robot mode to see the real detail that she has. We have the nice red and orange paint throughout the entire figure here in the thighs, the hands, and the body. We have the gray throughout as well, which adds a good coloration really to this figure, as well as that kind of palish weird yellow that I was speaking of before here in the face. That head sculpt is actually really nice. I like the paint in the eyes and the paint on the lips, giving her some lipstick, as well as the gray and the orange throughout on the helmet. Overall, it's a really nice head sculpt. And it is a fully different head sculpt than Moonracer's. Besides that, there is no other real detail besides some Autobot logo showing in the back that really differs from Moonracer. So, moving right along, let's go ahead and bring in her extra accessories. Here we have her gun that can peg in nicely into her hand, which gives her a nice little pistol to hold. A little big for her, but again, maybe it's just that her head is kind of small. But overall, good look for her. And lastly would be her prime armor, which can squeeze around her chest here, peg into the sides of her chest, and make her look very, I guess you would say, wide-chested. No pun intended, if that's really a pun. But nonetheless, you can do this if you like. I won't. But again, it is the thing you can do. Now for comparison, let's go ahead and bring in Moonracer to see how these two look together, which overall I think they look really, really nice together. See if I can get her a little bit away from the light. The light's kind of making her a little bright, but these two look really nice together. Being that they are the same mold, they do complement each other very well. And you can tell the difference on the head sculpts is very, very different. But again, they look... I like when the head sculpts are a lot different when the mold is so close in resemblance, because then it shows that you have a different figure and they didn't just take the time, or they did take a little extra time to change the figure and make it their own. But besides these two, we can bring in the leader of these fembots, if you want to call them fembots, Elita 1, which right here, this is a nice little group shot. And if there were only 2 more female combiners, it'd be great to make a full combiner for these. I don't know what you would call it exactly, because that didn't exactly exist before, but it'd be cool to kind of imagine what you would call it, or if the fans, or if the community would come up with a name. Maybe even Hasbro would come up a name like Volcanicus. It'd be cool to see. Also, for comparison, let's bring in Optimus Prime to see a leader scale to Novastar, which they look really nice together as well. Here with the leader of the Autobots. Moving right along to the transformation back to her vehicle mode, let's go ahead and take the pistol back out and get her arms up out of the way. We're going to take these legs, fold them back in, get them nice and connected, as so. Straighten out her thighs. Mine, or at least I've had a weird attempt once you actually get these together and straighten up when they're connected here at the bottom. They do kind of get in the way. We'll see if it actually happens in here. I'm not going to explain it better, but that might not. Let's bring the feet down a little bit as we rotate the legs back around. We are going to disconnect the back, which was surprisingly tight. Bring this down, get this where it's supposed to go and bring these pieces back. Actually, let's do that first and then connect it there. We will then rotate this piece around. As you do that, then you will free up the available space to rotate her head back around and into the cabin it's supposed to go in. Take these arms, rotate them up to get them out of the way. As you take these panels, fold them up. As you do, there will be these little pegs here that you're going to want to get out of the way to bring these panels up as far as they go. Back here for these hands, you're going to take these around. There is a peg hole right there for that peg to slip into. Slip it on in, bring this hand down, and rinse and repeat. Bring that on in there and fold the hand up. And there you have Novastar in her vehicle mode again. Overall, not a huge offset from Moonracer, but Novastar is a very good figure indeed. It really does suck that she's the only fourth wave figure from Power of the Primes, but it is cool to get another Fembot to really go with the other two. If only we can get two more combiners that really work out well with that Elita one for a torso. It'd be really cool, really nice to actually have a full combiner of these girls. But for right now, we just have to deal with these three and maybe use Jazz or someone else as the other body parts. Only real issue I would see with this figure would be that the clear plastic can maybe be a little troublesome as time goes by. You may want to be a little more careful with it and not really stress it too much so that those parts don't stress marks or anything like that, maybe any breakage. Just be a little more careful with it. Same as Moonracer. There are ball joints that are clear. It's pretty much a lot of the figure's clear, so again, just be very careful with it when you're transforming it. And don't get a little over anxious with it. But that's about it for today's video. I really hope you enjoyed this and our journey through Power of the Primes. There are some more figures that I have that I'm going to do reviews on. Just haven't got to them yet, as Cinder Solar, Outback, and some of the Prime Masters, but they will be coming down the road. Stay tuned this week. I think I'm going to have an extra video. We should be receiving something in the mail that should be pretty cool. So if you don't see a video, it didn't come, but it seems like it's on schedule, so it should be here, so just stay tuned. There is a little bell down there if you want to go ahead and hit that. It'll supposedly ding and send you a notification whenever one of my videos go live, so please do that. Subscribe if you haven't done so, and leave a like and comment below if you want to as well. This is Double J101 signing off, and I thank you very much for watching, and I'll talk to you again soon. Thanks.